We're here outside a food bank in Los Angeles. You can see the long line of people here right now that are lining up to get food assistance. This is what we've seen across LA and across the country as the government shutdown has put SNAP benefits in jeopardy for 42 million Americans.
Hey, ma'am, stop.
They can't just take my food away. We got kids. EBT's gone. What are we supposed to do? Starve? Don't be surprised when we start taking it. People gotta eat.
What's up, you guys? It's your Coco Filipina, and I just wanted to show you guys, it's a sign of the times. Just cut EBT benefits. Line, and this is what it looks like. Hold on. The worst part about it is they don't have enough food for everyone here. And I'm literally watching people in line breaking down in tears. This is America, I guess.
Her time to come and help. She wants to be a community worker, and this is what we're showing her. What we gotta do is stop panicking. Guys, stop panicking. We have to. Don't show up with your babies before 2 o'clock next week because I'm not gonna open the door. I'm not gonna get it. No one's getting a number. I don't care about numbers anymore.
America, the richest country on earth, is facing a food crisis. This is after the EBT cuts, which has left families struggling to afford food. And food bank pantries, they are now overwhelmed by lines of people coming to look for something to eat. And not because they are lazy, it is because people cannot afford groceries anymore. Parents are skipping meals so that their children can eat, and yet the government is acting as if everything is fine. So let's get to see the reactions, then you come back with commentary, and kindly hit the subscribe button and share your thoughts in the comments, all right? Let's dive into it.
So I just finally got confirmation that food stamps is officially cut for next month. And the thing about a lot of stereotypes is they say that if you're on SNAP benefits, you don't work hard, you sit on your butt and you just collect checks, when that's not the case. I work hard every single day. I get up every single day and clean houses, and I still rely on food stamps to feed my 6 children because the prices are so high. It's unrealistic to think about not having food stamps. Next month, I'm so terrified because 6 babies are always eating. Plus myself, I eat about 1 meal a day, but still. And it's like, they always say don't rely on the government. But sometimes, like in situations right now where the government literally has raised prices over 300% on just everything, eggs, milk, everything, you do have to rely on stamps, especially in my situation where I just got custody of 3 children on top of mine. So we need it. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm terrified right now. And I don't know if anyone else is scared, but this is scary. But like, Trump needs to figure something out. I don't know. This is so messed up.
I just witnessed a family trying to buy food with SNAP benefits, and it's November 1st, and they didn't know, and there was nothing on their card. A mother, a father, and a little girl who was probably about 3 years old, 4 years old, standing there trying to figure out what they were going to do because they needed their groceries. Everyone should have food. Everyone should have food. Doesn't matter if you're a drug addict. Doesn't matter if you're homeless. Doesn't matter who you are. Food is a human necessity. Food, water, and shelter, and healthcare. We're not promised any of those things in the United States. Not unless you have the money.
So this is in regards to the food stamp situation and to the government being shut down and stamps not being available in November. I'm so tired of seeing people say like, oh, well, maybe if you had a job, you could get your groceries, or, you know what I'm saying, you would have to depend on stamp. I work full time. Thank you. And I do rely on stamps because guess what? It's not enough money in this economy for me to be able to pay bills and get stuff that we need and provide for my 2 kids. So yes, I depend on stamps and I have a full-time job. So please know that people out here depend on stamps is not because we out here just mooching off the government. It's because we literally need that to provide for our family.
I am a single mother who relies on SNAP benefits. I live in a women's shelter with my 2 children, one of which who will be 5 next week, and an almost 7-year-old. I work. I am continuing my education so that I can be the person that gets us out and gets us on our feet. But while I work and while I'm working to continue my education, I am restricted by their school schedules, restrictions imposed on me from living in a women's shelter. We have curfews that we have to abide by. We have to be inside the building at a certain time. I cannot have childcare come to me if I needed to pick up an extra shift. And because of curfew restrictions and other restrictions put in place, I can't take them somewhere to pick up a shift. So SNAP benefits are what gives me a footing. And while I receive child support, it's not enough. It's not enough to supplement with my paychecks and the frequency of which I am paid and the taxes that I pay on my paychecks. And I am not the only one, because I live in a women's shelter of women who rely on those benefits to take care of their children. Because we found ourselves in positions where fathers refused to take on more responsibility. And it's not just those situations. There are so many situations in which families rely on those benefits who are families. And as many times as I've recorded this video and as heated as I have gotten, there's no reason why anyone should have to go without, because our elected officials are refusing to release the funding necessary to keep these programs floating, and to use blame and shame and guilt trips for the states who are trying to do what they can to subsidize these funds. I don't think that we really realize the depths that this is, the damage that this is going to do, but the women, the mothers, and the families, but the mothers especially, who are going to go without meals so their children don't have to. I know that I will absolutely be one of those mothers. There are so many words and there's so much rage right now because we should not be here. We should not be here.
I'm literally shaking right now. My boys and I started a food pantry in our front yard. I just went out to fix things. People have been using it all night. I just looked at my mailbox. Are you kidding me? There's no name. It just says, "May God prosper and bless your food pantry." We're really not letting people go hungry, man.
Over 40 million Americans use SNAP benefits. Over 40 million Americans cannot afford food, and they have to use government assistance. The government has to subsidize the food that people eat. That's over 12% of the population of the United States. Think about that. And then ask yourself, the real question is, why is it that over 40 million Americans can't afford food? That's the real question. Is it because food costs too much? Are there not enough jobs? Do we not have enough jobs for 40 million people to make a good enough living where they can afford their own food? Is there a job shortage? What is going on in America? Serious answers below, please. We need to figure this out.
Y'all, they trying to kill us. They trying to starve us to death. I just got some bad news, y'all. The U.S. just voted against food as a human right in 2025. Not 1825, not 1925, in 2025, okay? They out here preaching freedom and democracy while telling the world that basic survival is optional. What the fuck is really going on? Nah, that's not right. And you can't call yourself the land of the free if you out here denying people food. Where they do that at? Like, y'all have money for bombs and billionaires and fucking bailouts, but not for basic dignity? I'm not understanding. This system is starving people on purpose and trying to make it look normal. Don't let them. People, we need to fight. It is more of us than them. Come on now. Because this can't be home of the brave and land of the fucking free. It can't be. I'm not understanding. Why they doing this to us? It don't make no fucking sense. If they think I'm finna go without fucking food, they got another motherfucking thing coming. I will blow all this motherfucking...
This is what America has come to. A nation where people have to line up for hours just to get a few bags of food. And we are not talking about the homeless, the unemployed. We are talking about hardworking families who are working full-time job and still can't afford groceries after the EBT cuts. You know, it's heartbreaking and infuriating at the same time. You cannot cut benefits in the middle of a cost of living crisis, you know, and expect people to survive. Prices of food, they have skyrocketed. Eggs, milk, bread, meat, you know, they are out of reach for millions of Americans. Everything costs more. Meanwhile, the wages haven't moved, you know. Rent is up. Utilities are through the roof. The EBT cuts didn't just take away benefits. It took away security, dignity, and stability for millions of working families. And while millions are standing on food bank lines, our politicians are standing on podiums, giving speeches about how the economy is, you know. They are not talking about a mother crying in her car because she can't afford groceries, you know. They are not talking about seniors who have to choose between buying food or buying medicine. I mean, it's so heartbreaking. They are not talking about children going to bed hungry because their parents' benefits were being slashed. What's happening right now is more than a food crisis. It's a moral crisis. When a nation spends money on wars, luxury projects, and tax break for the billionaires and can't ensure that its own citizens have enough food, that's a national shame. The lines outside the food pantries, they are the real state of the nation, but our communities are trying to help, churches, local organizations, volunteers, but they are doing everything they can, you know. They can only do so much. They cannot solve a nation crisis. People need policy, they need leadership, and they need compassion, not budget cuts and empty promises. And it's only going to get worse because winter is approaching. Hearing costs are going to cost more. Families will have to make impossible choices. Do we pay for gas, electricity, or even buy food? The food pantries, they are already sounding the alarm. They are running out of supplies faster than ever before. Demands are rising while donations are falling. So yes, America is facing a food crisis as a result of decisions made by leaders who seem to be out of touch with the struggles of everyday Americans. But here is the truth. Hunger should never be a political issue. Feeding people, it's about basic human decency. And no one in this country should be allowed to go hungry. So thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.